We're Tomu. We make prefab modular homes and villas for hotels, residential, ADUs, the whole market. Whereas normal construction, it's very sequential. You have to wait for all the on-site work to be done before you can start building. We get to do that while the contractor's doing all the on-site work to help speed up the process.
That's awesome.
I wanted to do something that was kind of a modern Japanese-inspired kind of spa and hotel.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find the builder to build the room.
For sure.
And it just so happened that our chief design officer on our team, he was doing the work. And at a certain point, we said, what if we just did this ourselves?
Chris, thank you so much for inviting me to your amazing facility here at Hagerstown, Maryland. And you were kind of giving me a quick tour, but now we're going to be showing the viewers a tour as well. So tell them a little bit about your company and kind of what you guys do, because this is a pretty amazing company that exists here in the DMV area.
Yeah, well, first, thanks for coming out.
Of course.
We're in our facility out at Hagerstown Airport. It's an old aircraft manufacturing plant. We're Tomu. We make prefab modular homes and villas for hotels, residential, ADUs, the whole market. So we're gonna go take a tour around and show you how we do it.
Yeah, definitely, man. Let's go take a quick tour now and start walking over here now. Obviously, I'm assuming these are when they move these suckers.
Yeah. Yeah, we need a little help moving these things in and out of the warehouse when they're ready to ship out.
So I'm seeing a sign that says oversized, like assembly and then pre-assembly. Why don't you tell me a little bit about this area over here?
Yeah, so we start the process essentially literally from the ground up. Everything we do is a permanent structure, so it has to be built to any sort of residential or commercial code.
Like code and all that,
Like any other permanent structure. So we start with what we call kind of the floor cassette. We do all the floor framing, the joists, the insulation, and then from there we start doing the exterior walls and then the roofing, and then we can start closing everything in.
So it's kind of almost like a traditional house, right? Like you start with the foundation and then you guys start building it up from there.
Yeah, the only difference is that we work in parallel with the stuff that's happening on site. So whereas normal construction, it's very sequential. You have to wait for all the on-site work to be done before you can start building. We get to do that while the contractor's doing all the on-site work to help speed up the process.
That's awesome, man. So like from the time someone gets going and you start with the foundation, when is it usually out the door? What's that look like?
Really depends on the size of the unit. We have units that start at 250 square feet. That's just a single module.
So that kind of be like a hotel room?
Yeah, hotel room and ADU. We go all the way up to 1,400 square feet, two-bedroom units. And so the time can vary anywhere between 6 weeks to 12 weeks, depending on the size. Really, the limiting factor is the site ready?
Is the site, yeah. I mean, if you know anything about site work, which obviously you do, but a viewer, I mean, it takes a while to get going. A lot of people will call me and say, hey, I want to buy this $10,000 piece of land. And I'm like, well, first of all, you might not even be able to build on it, right? And then, you got to get the counties involved and all that. So you kind of, there's a lot of site prep work that has to go into it.
Yeah, there's site prep. Also with each state, because these are supposed to be permanent structures, we have to submit with the state. And that's always a little variable that's outside of our control. But the building process that we can scoot along.
Yeah, so what's over here? So now we got a bunch of guys working over here. What's this pre-assembly area? So they kind of moved and now they've got the structure up, and then we're coming over here. I see is there drywalls already in, or what's going on over here? Is there even drywall? I don't even know.
Yeah. So essentially two parts of construction. Really getting the envelope built and sealed. Once we get all the MEP, all the mechanical and electrical plumbing into the walls, that's when we're able to get that inspected. Those inspections happen in our facility as opposed to on site.
Nice.
Like in normal construction. But once we get that inspection done, then we're able to close up the wall and we can kind of move things back here where it's really all about the finishing work. The drywall, getting the flooring, the paint, all the cabinetry, fixtures, etc.
Wow, so it literally shows up ready to go.
Yeah.
So what stage would so this one I can see some drywalls in, rooms are in. What stage would this one be in, you think?
Yeah, this one's gonna head out here in about the next 2 weeks. So it's the exterior hasn't been installed yet. We try to install that as late as possible so it doesn't get damaged in any of the warehouse. But all the interior drywall's done. The flooring's right about to go in. Once the flooring goes in, it goes real quick because then it's just a matter of putting in your cabinetry and your toilet.
So it shows up at the land with the cabinetry, all that in there?
Oh yeah, all of that's done.
Man, that's just crazy. Let's keep walking a little bit further down here. So this is kind of so now they kind of come out here. I see a bay. Is that where they exit out, or am I looking something crazy here?
No, we still have to truck them all the way back out front because that's our loading area.
Right.
This is another 100,000 square feet or so of space.
Yeah, this space here is, if you guys can imagine, this was literally an airplane hangar.
Right? Yeah, they built cargo planes out here.
Right. That's crazy. Yeah, man. So you can see all the construction going on. Tons of guys working. Like, one of the reasons I wanted to do this with you, man, this is a really unique operation, really cool. Something that's like a really exciting space, because we were talking earlier and I was saying, like, there's a county in Virginia where a lot of people did like these modulars, but you can't get loans on them. But you were saying that's possible with these, right?
Yeah, and that's one of the big differences with our system versus some other kind of manufactured homes, is that they're built to a HUD standard, which is essentially on a chassis with wheels. It's mobile. Because of that, it creates some other challenges when it comes to financing. These, for all intents and purposes, once they are on the foundation, it is a permanent structure like any other that would have been built on the site.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some that are pretty crazy, like where you actually had to go to the DMV to do the closing. Like, they didn't even consider it an actual house.
Yeah, they get VIN'd and registered just like any other vehicle.
Yeah, was there anything else in here you wanted to point out about the process or anything? Because this seems like it's pretty streamlined. It's almost like a really good factory lineup right here.
Yeah, it's it's not the fanciest of old facilities, but it does the job for us. I mean, the main thing is, there's just so many opportunities for where these things can go. Obviously, you're very familiar with just kind of housing and the cost of it. So whether it be people using these as second homes or even ADUs on the residential side, but also for us, we also do a lot of hospitality. My background's in hospitality, so people that want to do, whether it's little short-term rentals or glamping type things, all the way up to adding a few of these as a part of a full-scale resort. The applications of them are pretty flexible.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's something that I'm excited. We're going to sit down for an interview after this. I'm excited to talk to you about more, because I see a huge opportunity with that space, just because I know the challenges alone of, like, even somebody building a property. You got to find the right construction person. You got to hope they show up on time. That's what I'm excited about, what you guys do.
Yeah, and especially once you get outside of the city, that becomes that much more difficult, because just to get people out there on time, it gets more expensive. I think that's what a lot of off-site construction really brings to the table.
Yeah, for sure. One thing I just really wanted to point out real quick, so I see some of them, like, obviously they got to be able to fit on a truck. Like, is there like 3 that can come together, 2?
Yeah, our largest one, our 2 bedrooms, are 4 different modules that come together, but each module is under 12 feet wide. So that's how we keep everything kind of road legal and do it in a way where we don't have to have all the extra guide cars, because that's where things get
expensive. You're starting to talk about these like flag cars and all that.
Yeah.
Well, let's walk. So you guys have one that's kind of like finished over there. I want to show them that one. Let's go over there and show them that one. Chris, so you got to tell me, I obviously checked this out a little bit earlier. I got like a huge film crew here. But anyways, because this is like a semi-finished unit right here?
Yep, this is our original model unit. We call this our studio villa. So this is one of our 500 square foot units. Could be an Airbnb or a short-term rental.
Nice.
Or ADU size unit, but fully finished. This is part of our pre-design line.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I noticed this one. Is this one like 3 units put together?
Yeah, this system's 3 units put together. Some of our newer system are 2 units together, depending on the size.
Nice.
But this gives everybody an idea of what we do, kind of the layout, the look and feel.
Yeah, this thing is awesome, man. This is like a 5-star hotel. Let's go walk inside here. I'm going to ask him some more questions. Here inside one of the finished units here that you guys kind of use as like an example, right? So tell me a little bit quickly about this space right here that we're in.
Yeah, so this is our original prototype that we built a few years ago. It's about 480 square feet. Our production models now are a little bit larger than that. We've made some updates and improvements, but this gives people an idea of like the look and the feel and the layout, the quality level of what we do.
Yeah, this is like really high end too. Like I noticed like the rain follow shower over there. You got the nice bathroom, cabinetry, a little kitchen over there. These are really cool, man. So I got to ask you, so you said you used to work for Nike over in the West Coast and you came over to DC. So were you like one day just like, you know what, I want to get into the tiny modular, not tiny, but you know what I mean? I'm getting the modular home business. Like what the heck happened? Like how did you go from there to here?
Yeah, don't get my shoes. I got
yeah, exactly. He's got the Nikes on, so do I.
The dirty warehouse
Yeah, exactly, on.
Yeah, I was doing marketing and retail work for Nike and the Jordan brand back in the day. I grew up in Portland, Oregon, and then one day I got a random phone call from a Hilton recruiter to work out at their headquarters in McLean and made the leap to hospitality.
Awesome, yeah. Then what made you kind of switch from that to getting into this?
Well, then COVID hits, and as we all did, we had a little extra time. And
you must have had a lot of extra time.
a lot of extra time. Well, it actually started that we wanted to do a passion project for ourselves. We wanted to do our own development. I wanted to do something that was kind of a modern Japanese-inspired kind of spa and hotel.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find the builder to build the rooms.
For sure, yeah, it's tough.
And it just so happened that our chief design officer on our team, he was doing the work. And at a certain point, we said, what if we just did this ourselves? Because we started bumping into people that
then you were going all kind of different sectors and everything. Yeah,
it's like we started meeting people that needed what we also couldn't find out in the market, so we went down this path.
This is awesome, man. Yeah, so you were telling me there's like, you kind of do like, you got like the hotel side and then like the personal side. Like, tell me a little bit more about that. Like, where do you see this industry going, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, you're well aware, like there's a lot of demand in housing.
For sure.
And that's across the board because there are shortages. So our residential side is really a lot of people that are looking for second homes. They want to use it as an ADU if it's a smaller unit. Maybe it's a vacation rental, something like that. The way we design is really for kind of that leisure and hospitality use. So like you said, the rain showers, the soaking tubs, like they are very generous units built around that type of lifestyle. So we have all that's for an individual buyer, we have options for them. But we say we go from host to hotelier. So that goes all the way up to now those that are wanting to develop some sort of hotel. And it could be a small micro hotel, it could be a large development, but they can use our units as guest rooms for their developments.
Yeah, definitely. Like I could see if you were like a big hotel and then you had a huge resort, you've got like ponds on the property, whatever, you already got the land, the infrastructure, you could put a bunch of these on there, and have another good setup for like revenue stream,
Yeah.